The new babysitter asked me, "Your parents never come home early, right?" I told her they usually stayed out until midnight on their anniversary, and she asked if they ever came home early to check on me, which no babysitter had ever asked before. I said no, never, and she typed something into her phone with this satisfied look on her face. My regular babysitter had gotten sick that morning, so my parents found this girl Tara through some neighborhood app, who looked normal enough when she showed up wearing ripped jeans and carrying a purple backpack that seemed weirdly heavy when she set it by the door. She kept checking her phone while making me dinner, and when I asked if she was texting her boyfriend, she laughed and said something about how her boyfriend was actually working tonight, which didn't really answer my question, but adults are weird like that sometimes. After dinner, she suggested I play video games with the volume up because she had to make some important calls for her college classes and didn't want to bother me, which should have been my first warning sign. While I played my game, she paced around the living room having a conversation that definitely wasn't about college, unless her professor wanted to know about window locks and whether we had a security system and what time the neighbors usually went to bed. She disappeared upstairs for a while and I figured she was using the bathroom, but then I heard footsteps above me in my parents' room where nobody was supposed to go, and when she came back down, she had this overly satisfied look on her face. Around 9:30, she stood by the front window texting frantically, and every few seconds she'd peek through the curtains at the street like she was waiting for pizza delivery, except we'd already eaten. Then she turned to me with this fake sweet smile and asked if I wanted to learn a fun new game where I had to stay in the basement for 20 minutes without making any sound, and if I won, she'd give me $20. I pretended to think about it, but my stomach was doing that twisty thing it does when something bad is about to happen. So I said I needed to use the bathroom first and ran upstairs instead. My parents' bedroom door was wide open, and their closet light was on, and when I looked inside, I saw she'd moved things around and pulled out my dad's safe from behind his suits and left it sitting on the bed with some kind of electronic device attached to it that was making quiet beeping sounds. There were photos spread out on my mom's dresser that I'd never seen before, showing our family at restaurants and parks, and even one of me walking home from school, which meant someone had been watching us for who knows how long. I heard footsteps coming up the stairs fast and barely managed to duck into the hallway closet before she rushed past, muttering something about timing being critical and how they needed to stick to the plan, whatever that meant. Through the crack under the closet door, I watched her feet stop right outside and heard her whisper, "Listen, you psychopath, I don't care what he promised you. If you hurt that kid, the deal is off and I'm calling the whole thing right now." Whatever she heard next drained all the confidence from her voice, and she answered, "Fine, but you get 15 minutes max and then we're gone before the parents suspect anything." She walked back toward the stairs and I realized with this cold, crushing feeling that she wasn't just robbing us, but that someone else was coming and that person wanted to do something to me, and the only reason they hadn't already was because she was apparently the reasonable one in whatever sick plan this was. I waited until I heard her go back downstairs, then crawled to my room on my hands and knees to get my phone from under my pillow, where I always hid it during dinner. My fingers were shaking so hard I could barely dial 911, but somehow I managed to whisper that someone was in my house, and more people were coming, and the operator kept asking questions, but all I could get out was our address, and then just begging them to send help now because they were already here. I heard car doors slam outside and heavy footsteps on our front porch, and then Tara's voice saying, "She's upstairs playing video games with headphones on, so just do what you came to do and make it quick." Multiple sets of boots thundered up the stairs while I wedged myself behind my bedroom door, holding my breath and trying not to cry, because crying would make noise and noise would let them find me. The door crashed open and someone enormous walked past close enough that I could smell cigarettes and something chemical on their clothes, and they started tearing through my closet, throwing things everywhere before punching the wall and yelling downstairs that I wasn't in my room. Everything after that happened so fast it felt like a movie playing at the wrong speed, with sirens and shouting and glass breaking and someone screaming to get on the ground now, and then suddenly police officers were everywhere, and my parents were somehow there too, even though their dinner was supposed to last 3 more hours. They found me still frozen behind my door, and my mom collapsed next to me sobbing, while my dad kept saying, "You're okay, you're okay, you're okay," like he was trying to convince himself. They found Tara's phone in the driveway where she dropped it, and her last message was, "Sweet kid, trust me completely, back door's open."